Man, 2017 to 2018 been whack for Square Enix. That's my favorite company, but they ain't got no games. When's Kingdom Hearts 3? I'm so bored. No Final Fantasy? Wait. Oh, snap. Man, 13 was a snack. But we may never get 13 games again, so why am I thinking about it? You know what? Forget it, bro. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm irritated, man. Wait. Square Enix ain't had a good game since Nier Automata. Nobody really bought Dragon Quest because Square Enix go bankrupt? Bro, I'm going. Look, I'm tweaking. Yo, The World Ends With You is an action role-playing game that incorporates urban fantasy elements developed by Square Enix and Jupiter from Nintendo DS and was released in July 2007 in Japan and April 2008 for North America. Over 10 years later, we finally get a port of The World Ends With You to the Nintendo Switch, which recently dropped on October 12, 2018 in North America. Set in modern-day Shibuya, shopping district of Tokyo, The World Ends With You features a distinctive art style inspired by Shibuya and its youth culture. Believe it or not, this game was influenced by Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I do not understand this. Like, how in the world did Tetsuya Nomura get cards confused with pens? Now that's some high-tier creativity, and that is beyond me. Later, an enhanced port to accommodate the game for mobile devices, ported by hand, was released in 2012. The World Ends With You is one of the most unique JRPGs developed in the last decade due to its core gameplay. It's hard, but also intuitive. Think of something saying pat your head and rub your belly at the same time. That's how much you're going to be moving and thinking while playing this game. The story of The World Ends With You starts with the young boy, the god, Neku, as he gets trapped in Shibuya, where he must complete multiple daily challenges and quests within 7 days to survive. The enemies of the games are called Noise. The only way to defeat the Noise is through linking with a partner, because thus it gives you the ability in battle to use pins. Remember how I brought up Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, where cards did all the damage for you? Well, in The World Ends With You, you have pins. Yes, the ones people clip on their book bag. Various pins give you various abilities to do different attacks, different moves, and different things in battle. They help you defeat the enemy and help you survive these 7 days. Enough of that, I'm going to take it to my boy and my good friend, the Frozen Cavern, as he breaks down the gameplay of The World Ends With You. Let's go.
You play as Neku and his partner in the Reapers game. You have to survive a week of the Reapers game by completing tasks given by the Reapers. To complete your main goals, you will have to scan the various areas of Shibuya to defeat the noise that stand in your way, as well as scan the thoughts of people in order to sway their emotions and actions in your favor. Neku attacks with pins that you collect throughout the game, whether through special drops or item shops. All the pins do a variety of actions. Some are used for combat like slashing and fire projectiles. These pins will have to recharge over time after the listed amount of uses on the pins. Other pins are more passive in battle, like defense and attack breaks on your enemies. These are either activated at the beginning of the battle or last over the course of the battle. Each pin has its own stats to make them unique and truly affect the flow of battle. Neku's pins can also be leveled up through combat, or if you turn off the game and come back to it within a 7-day period of time. The pins you had equipped will gain experience. Some pins can even evolve into stronger pins through either of these methods. So make sure to take advantage of these, aka look up a guide, because you will never get these intentionally. You are way more likely to get these as luck. Neku's partner will assist him in combat when you summon them. After a short amount of time, if you don't do anything with them, they will disappear until you summon them again. You don't have to worry about Neku's partner getting hit during this time. Only Neku takes damage. Your partner works just like Neku's pins, where after a certain amount of uses, you'll have to wait before you can summon them again. After some time of playing the game, you can get a friend to play as Neku's partner, where they will have more options available to them, unless you're in handheld mode. By alternating hits between Neku and his partner, they will increase the connection between each other, aka their sync. When their sync reaches 100%, you are able to press a special pin that gives you a super attack that hits every enemy on screen. Before your attack unleashes, you will play a card minigame to increase the amount of damage and drop rates of your pins before the time runs out. After every battle, you will be given a ranking for how well you did based off of your time, damage taken, the amount of rounds you went through, and special bonuses you get for doing certain actions. This rank goes from star all the way down to E. From time to time, you'll run into a wall with a Reaper in front of it. These Reapers have different objectives for you to complete, defeating certain noise, bringing them a particular pin, asking questions about the area, etc. If you need help getting certain pins, you can lower your level, which makes the game harder, but it gives you a higher chance at gaining pins. There's also difficulty settings that you can change between to do a similar thing. Throughout the game, you'll be buying food which you eat for attack, health, defense boosts, and more. However, you will have to digest the food by completing battles, and you can only eat a certain amount of food within 24 hours of real time. You will also get clothes which can help give status boosts and abilities, but you have to have a certain amount of bravery before you can equip some clothes, so keep that in mind during your purchases. Most pins and clothes have trends that are tied to them. Trends can increase or decrease the power of your pins depending on the brand your pin has, so be mindful of the trends as they can affect battle as well. Each area has varying charts, meaning some pins will work better in some areas than others. You can check the trends of the area you're in the pause menu at any time. You are also able to affect the trends by wearing pins and clothes that are associated with the brand more often in combat. As you go through the story, you will be obtaining stickers. These stickers are either mini tutorials that tell you something you've learned in case you forgot it, or is an ability or add-on to previous moves. These are all passive and you equip these automatically when you get them. There's also special pins and money that you can get through side missions. Now, let's get to all of the good things that are with this game in terms of the gameplay. There's a lot of diverse pins with different effects and execution methods, which leads to amazing combinations. This leads to a lot of customization with unique play experiences and fun combat if you customize the pins right. The game also rewards you nicely for going out of your way for the side content with pins and money for clothes and food to make you stronger. Some missions do require a little bit of extra thinking and effort to complete, which makes them a challenge sometimes. The controls are also very unique and innovative on the Switch, as not many games like this have you only use one Joy-Con for the game with the gyro controls or only the touchscreen in the handheld mode. In that aspect, it stays true to the original game by utilizing the device's strengths. The gyro controls and touch controls feel smooth and responsive, which is good considering this is a game that mostly uses these control schemes. In some ways, this is better than the DS, but in some ways, it's also worse. The controls, regardless of which version you play, have its pros and cons. Earlier, I complimented the gyro controls for being very unique. Unfortunately, there are some downsides with this. For one, you will be resetting the reticle pretty often, which can affect your performance, but you can do it whenever you need to in the game. So, at most, this is a mild inconvenience. However, if you ever go to the Switch's home menu while playing the game with the Joy-Con and then go back into the game, the reticle will constantly move left because it has to be recalibrated. Don't worry, there is an easy fix for this. Just put your controller down for a second and it should automatically recalibrate. If that doesn't work, reboot the game as the startup menu has you recalibrate your Joy-Con. Thankfully, you autosave after literally everything, so you're not losing progress if this does happen. While using the Joy-Cons in combat, dodging is extremely easy. However, attacking with certain pins is somewhat difficult to do, like the slashes. Yes, this can be troublesome sometimes, but I've noticed that using ZL or ZR instead of A works better for these. I don't know why, it just has happened that way with me. Plus, the overall game is easier to deal with than it was in the original game. I mentioned a co-op mode earlier, which probably everyone tried out solo and then hated themselves and switched back because controlling two characters at once was way too brain splitting. You didn't have that option to do this in the original game, and Neku's partner could get hit. If you couldn't multitask, you were going to get massacred in the original game. Honestly, you should probably be a little bit thankful that dodging is really easy with the Joy-Con. Now, playing the game with the Joy-Con for too long can get your arm tired, since most of the time you're probably holding your arm up to aim at the screen to play the game, or at least that's what I do. I'm used to it and it feels natural. Moderation of the game is an easy fix, and since the game rewards you for taking a break, it works out. Playing in handheld mode makes attacking in diverse ways easier, but dodging is harder since you can't just press a button with your cursor at whatever point. In handheld, you have to drag from Neku to wherever you want to go, which is also slightly similar to some attacks. Also, playing the game for too long in this mode can suck as well, since you have to hold the screen with one hand and operate the controls with the other, making your holding hand cramp. Again, moderation of the game rewards you, so just take a break now and then. Regardless of these issues, I feel like this is a game that people can still really enjoy. And besides, you'll never know how you feel about the gameplay until you give it a shot. Now, before I'm done, I'm going to give you a few tips in case you do plan on buying this game. Moderate your playtime. This isn't a game where you're able to play forever regardless of whether you play it in the Joy-Con mode or the handheld mode. If you feel yourself getting tired, stop playing. The game rewards you for putting the game down and coming back to it anyways, so use that to your advantage. Yin pins that are 5,000 or more can usually be sold off as soon as you get them. There's not really any reason for you to carry them on you, aside from just selling them off as money. Pins in combat are used in the order of the slot layout, basically left to right. Keep that in mind as many pins require the same action as other pins but do different effects, and the order they appear in can matter a lot.
The World Ends With You is a masterpiece, from storytelling to character development and everything else. The gameplay is fun and intuitive and also the most original JRPG experience I've ever had my whole entire life. I recommend this game if you really want to learn about the origins of Neku Sakuraba and his gang, or learn the origins of his story from a more recent game, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Literally, the game is perfect and beautiful, but the only flaw is the controls. I was planning on doing a let's play or walkthrough, but I found it impossible to actually do this. My hands get tired and docked really fast. However, the handheld mode plays perfect like a mobile gacha game. If you're not a fan of motion or touchscreen controls like that, this can potentially hinder your experience. The motion controls function wonderfully though. They're not cheap or tacked on like how the Wii were at the beginning or how the Xbox Kinect was. But for long play sessions, this not it, chief. That being said, y'all, thank you for watching The World Ends With You final remix review for Nintendo Switch featuring me and my boy, The Frozen Cavern. Please check out his channel below for reviews in the future and funny gameplays and more content. Comment, hit the like button for more reviews, and follow me on Twitter at avataryayaTV. And remember, you guys are golden, and that is raw. Peace!